Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Michelle, and around here we talk about 18th century women's history and what it's like to be a rookie novelist. Today I want to take a look at the health of the history sector outside of academia. Let's have a look. Recently, the American Association of State and Local History presented their findings from their 2022 National Census of History Organizations. Now, the way they define history organizations is one, through their IRS filings. Also, whether or not an organization's primary or substantial mission is history related, and whether or not there was evidence of actual history related activity and programming. And they found that there are a whole lot of history organizations throughout the country. In fact, there are 21,000 history organizations throughout the United States. Now compare that to public libraries, where there are a little more than 16,000. Compare that to Starbucks, where there's about 15,000. And even compare that to McDonald's, where there's only about 13,400. So we've got a lot of history organizations. In that respect, the history sector is actually really healthy. So interestingly, the census shows that history organizations are simultaneously alive and well and also a little bit on life support. Most of these organizations have annual revenues of less than $50,000, and a lot of them have to rely on unpaid volunteers for staffing. And organizations that are part of public-private partnerships are starting to feel increased interference and censorship from their government partners. And they're also struggling a bit with repeat visitors. We have learned that people will return to an art museum or a science museum because they think there's something else to learn. But with history museums and historic sites, people visit one time, they think they get everything they need from that one visit, and they tend not to return. One thing I struggled with the National Census on History Organizations was the definition of history organizations. And AASLH agrees that that probably needs to be adjusted a bit, primarily because it doesn't include places outside of museums or historic sites. And the reality is there's a lot of really great history being done in places like cemeteries or churches or social media. And for social media specifically, I've actually been really encouraged by recent interest in intellectualism. And when I say that, I don't mean elitism. I mean people just caring enough and curious enough that they want to grow and expand their knowledge on literature, the arts, politics. And around here, I'm going to try to hit the history notes. On my website, I have an article that goes a little bit deeper into the health of the history sector outside of academia. And if you're looking for a book to look at the same issue, I would recommend this, Being a Historian by James Banner. Now, admittedly, I'm only about halfway through it, so I might change my mind about it as I go, but right now I'm really enjoying the way he's expanding the definition and responsibility of historians, both inside and outside of academia. So as always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.